Former prosecutor J Bernstein joins me now to talk about the case. Okay, we've been talking about this for 3 years now.
Exactly.
At almost $2 million later, it's pretty much blown out the defender's fund. And here we are wondering if there's ever going to be progress.
Right, but they are actually making, at this moment, opening arguments now. The change in judge, this new judge, Judge Botiford, has said, I am going to get this trial, I'm done, I'm going to get it completed by the end of the year. And that's finally happening.
And this is the new judge because the other judge had to recuse himself.
Exactly. He had made some comments to CNN's Jeffrey Toobin for the New Yorker magazine, and then he realized that he shouldn't have commented on the case, so he removed himself from the case, and he was very controversial here locally, and that was another issue in the case. I think the words that you said at the end of that piece have really held true, that beyond those 26 hours of terror in Atlanta, this case has had effects on the judicial system throughout, bankrupting the local public defender system, conversations, discussion. In fact, I wrote an editorial about the judges and the media in this case, talking about issues of insanity. And then today, we've already lost a juror, which is another issue.
Why was there a lost juror? Why did the juror?
One of the jurors came in this morning. These folks were selected, and granted, they weren't real excited about being told that you're going to be on trial to the end of the year. And he apparently started talking about having emotional difficulties and maybe some tooth difficulties. Judge Botiford is a no-nonsense Vietnam War veteran.
You've been in his courtroom before.
I have tried a very contentious jury trial with him. He is no-nonsense. And he said to that juror, I am not going to put you on this jury because I can't have you not be fair, but you are going to sit here to the end of this trial in the jury box watching it throughout the entire time.
Now, here's what's interesting. I mean, this is someone who committed murder inside a courtroom where he is supposed to stand trial. I mean, how do you get a fair... There's not a lot of sympathy, I got to say, for this guy, but how do you get a fair trial when you are sitting in a courtroom where you actually committed the crimes?
Right. Well, Judge Botiford finally got the city of Atlanta to agree to let them use the municipal courthouse down the street. So as of now, it is no longer in the Fulton County Courthouse, which I think would have been a serious issue for appeal. It is down the street. This morning, they blocked off the streets in front of this courtroom. The judge is being very restrictive as to who can go in and out of the courtroom, because not only was it scary that day, remember, we're talking about a defendant who busted out from the police that day, to there have been accusations now that he tried to bust out of prison since he's been waiting.
Oh, and we've covered that. He tried a couple of times. Now, Ashley Smith, the young woman that he ended up meeting, later in that night, and she read The Purpose-Driven Life, the spiritual book to him, apparently got him to give himself up to the SWAT team. That was all a very fascinating dynamic that added to the whole story. Will she testify?
I think so, and I actually think it's going to be a critical point in this case, because what's happening now is not whether, and today the defense said definitively, we are going for not guilty by reason of insanity. So they are not saying that Brian Nichols didn't do everything that's alleged. Rather, they're using an insanity defense. Now, the state is going to say, with each witness trying to show that they're deliberate decisions made by Nichols for these entire 26 hours. Ashley Smith's testimony may be interesting for the defense, because they're going to try to show that some sort of reality clicked by her reading The Purpose-Driven Life, by her getting him back in touch with the present reality of realizing what he had done. So that actually is going to be a very key witness for both sides in dealing with the insanity defense down the road.
Oh, it's going to be interesting to follow, no doubt. It's about time. That's what everybody's saying.
It's about time, and as this morning shows, we've already lost one juror. I'm not sure what's going to happen next.
We'll be talking more. J Bernstein, great to see you. Well, now